Hello, my name is Aaliyah, and this is my creative critical reflection for the homemade film One by One, in which a horror thriller movie in which students try to navigate their own school with a rampant killer running inside the halls. So, One by One, a short 2-minute film of a group of students encountering an unknown killer stalking through the halls of their school. This film is a horror thriller film and a film by Creek Productions. Basically, we were tasked to make this film in our ACE Media Studies class, a short 2-minute opening film. And we were put in groups, all that. We had about 2 weeks to, no, three, I think. 3 weeks to finish this all up. So questions and topics gone over inside the presentation. 1, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? 2, how does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? 3, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? And 4, how did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project? So this is an index as to what will be expected in this PowerPoint. Number 1, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? Our final project represents and breaks social conventions usually used in horror movies by 1, having our main antagonist be a girl, and 2, having everyone die by the end. Typically, in a horror movie, one lone survivor lives on to tell the tale. As far as social groups go, our entire cast is diverse in backgrounds. So everyone in my group is diverse. And our antagonist, or our main killer, is a girl, and everyone dies by the end. In the beginning, there's an established group of 3 kids, and like I said before, they all die by the end. A deeper dive into representation and conventions. Representation is commonly defined as a portrayal of someone or something in a particular way as being of a certain nature. In horror films, representation often just refers to how different demographics, particularly women and people of color, are depicted within the genre. Historically, these portrayals are seen as offensive and hurtful to these groups of minorities, and as directors time and time again perpetuate that harmful stereotypes. On the brighter side, recent trends have shown a full 180 from them, a more diverse and nuanced representation in horror cinema, and one by one, more harmful portrayals are left behind for just a simple horror movie. Connections are commonly described as the elements that define a film's genre, such as characters, themes, and plot structures. In horror films, much like ours, common themes include isolated settings, unsettling atmospheres, and jump scares. Conventions in One by One are victims, the fear of the unknown, and antagonists and our victims, and unsettling music. So the victims are the established group of 3 kids at the beginning. The fear of the unknown is just the fear of roaming through the halls, while a known killer is out there chasing after you. An antagonist is obviously the killer, and unsettling music plays throughout most of the film. Title One by One, a ghoulish font illuminated by red. Usually with horror movies, the titles are very, they're just very ghoulish, like I said. They're just very slim and scary, supposed to invoke interest and fear with that certain aesthetic. Cinematography, dim lighting, and desaturated colors creating a sense of gloom. Wide shots or high shots whenever a murder happens, and a smooth jazz playing throughout the movie, like established before. Mise-en-scene reverse, the arrangement of all visual elements within a shot are visually placed to convey a film's narrative. Typically in horror films, mise-en-scene is used to create suspense and fear. Occasionally, a killer may wear a mask to hide their identity, or they'll leave behind a murder weapon that signifies their importance. These things matter and helps build upon an antagonist. So basically in One by One, our antagonist does not wear a mask, but she tilts her head down the entire time to keep her identity a secret and to make her seem more mysterious and spooky. And towards the end of the film, we originally planned that she would leave behind her weapon somewhere and just kill off her last victim with her bare hands, showing her sheer strength and showing that really these kids had no chance in winning this entire time, which personally I think adds more dread to the whole thing. Okay, number two, how does your project engage with audiences and how would it be distributed as a real media text? Our project engages with the audience by having our antagonist, the killer, break the fourth wall multiple times throughout the film. This can leave the audiences interested and intrigued. Also, distributed as a real media text, we could say that this could be a Hollywood movie or distributed in theaters, in streaming services, anything. Number three, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? Originally, as we were filming, we started to face a lot of issues considering how we wanted our scenes to play out. Because of this, we took a while to start filming, discussing over certain scene directions and shots, redoing them over and over. But in the end, I really liked the direction we went for. So basically, while we were filming for, I think it was one day, halfway through, we started getting mixed up throughout, like, how the director wanted the film to go and like certain shots, and like there's this one scene where two characters, the murderer and a classmate, are running down the stairwell, and then she trips and falls, and the murderer kills her over the head with a bat. And this scene was redone like 5 times, I'm pretty sure, because the director wanted it to look a certain way. And honestly, I really like the end result. Anyways, so 4, how did you integrate technology, software, hardware, and online in this project? During our filming, well, before our filming, we had been tasked with case studies, and case studies are just researching things about a movie and then writing down like its whole process before its release. So we referred to a lot of online scripts during that time for our case studies. A particular movie we did was A Quiet Place. It doesn't really correlate with our movie in general, but it was a good script to study over because it deals with the whole silent thing.